now is the beginning today.
Right.
Right. And we have so much to fill in everybody of how we got here today.
Definitely. Should we do that now? There's so much to cover because it has to go into the village that we came from, the belief system which we were raised in.
The belief system in which we started our relationship.
Right.
And where we were.
And then
how we had to question that. And
how we realized inevitably that my perspective of it all is different than yours and everybody's. And that's
a lot of people might be shocked to know that Carl and I don't agree on everything.
On a lot of things.
A lot of things. We voted differently in the last elections.
Yeah.
We think very differently on religion and spirituality even now. I mean, there's a lot of common things, but I wouldn't say that we always agree.
We definitely don't. Agree on a lot of that stuff. So. But in the end, we're both trying to get to the same thing,
and we want to go together, which is interesting.
Which is that sense of peace and calm and arrival, like we have got where we're trying to go.
Someday.
When will that come? Is that going to come when we die? Is that going to come in heaven in the afterlife when we're finally reunited? What is that? Is it going to be like some big with like organs and harps, and then we're going to go create worlds, and then like it all starts over? Like what's going to happen? Like,
you know how I don't know what's going to happen, but I know how I want to feel.
All we can do.
How do you want to feel? Don't worry about what's going to happen. Tell us how you want to feel.
All I can do is sit here and imagine it. I can't escape that fact. That's what I've come to.
I was going to trick you.
All I can do is sit right here and now where I'm at in this chair at this table while I'm awake to contemplate it and think about it. If I'm not daydreaming about random shit running through my head, or sleeping at night, dreaming about weird stuff, or at work, working on work stuff, like the little bit of the minute that I have to actually be here and now is the only time that I can even imagine it.
Yeah.
I can't, and fundamentally I can't escape that this idea of even the past, like show me the you that was who you were yesterday. Go get her and bring her in here and bring her to me. I would like to meet her because she
there.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
There's these weird phantom paradox phenomenon in reality that nobody embraces like that. Who is the you that was you yesterday? That your hair's grown longer, some eyelashes have fallen out, you've showered and scraped skin off, you've eaten different food, you've breathed different environments, you're wearing different clothes, you've thought different thoughts and felt different emotions, and the world is turned in a different way. You know, you're not even in the same point in time in the universe or anything. Like all of that has changed. Where is that who you were yesterday? It's this, and even right here now, it's like, I do this to my kids all the time as a joke. It says like, here's my fist right here. So everybody says, this is the truth. I can say for a fact, there's my fist. In reality, we're all seeing my fist right now.
Carl's got a fist.
I have a fist. Okay, ready? Where'd it go? Where is my fist? Show me my fist. Bring it to me and weigh it on a scale and give it to me.
Yeah.
The past is like a smoke of incense, and we take our pictures and we post it everywhere. But our thoughts, emotions, and everything that we think we are and what's happening right now that we think is so solid and fixed is more like just a constant flowing, moving, just reflection of light. And ultimately what's weird is that's what it all is that physically everything that you're seeing right now, all of it that you're seeing in the room around you, and everything that you're hearing in your ears and that you're feeling in the table and all of that is a type of like reflection that's all going in and being perceived by someone watching, by you, by who you are in there, observing it all, piecing it all together and trying to interpret it. Donald Hoffman would say, and he'd say that science even proves that what you think is the truth, even based on evolutionary math and evidence and everything, what you think is reality 100% cannot be, because of how many gaps your conscious mind has to fill in.
Yeah. And
even the Hadron Collider and the most cutting edge laser beam science knows that the further in that they look at everything, 99.99% of all solid matter is empty space.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Right?
Think about this, just what you just said, that your reality, basically your perception can't actually be reality. Like mathematically, it just can't be true.
Right.
It's like you get told a story that's not true, and then you have a reaction or an emotion to that story.
Yeah.
And then finding out the story never even happened.
Yeah.
But those feelings that you had towards the story feel as true as this table right now. The feelings I had towards that fake story, that pretend thing, whether it be gossip or something, this friend said this about this friend and this person's mad at you, or the adoption stuff or whatever, it's like you can have a story that's freaking tangible. A human being is standing in front of me telling me this story, and all I'm doing is assuming they're not lying.
Right.
That is all I'm doing. I'm listening and absorbing the story and assuming that they're telling me the 100% truth, which their perception is not accurate at all, as we're just learning.
Right.
But you listen to it and you have that reaction. You find out the story is not true. Then what do you do with those emotions? Right? The ego inside of you has to swallow those emotions.
Right.
And you have to go, now, it's fake.
It's all fake.
It's all fake.
Yeah. And these ancient...
And it was ever just words.
The ancient Upanishads and the modern research and everything both would say the same thing now, is that like... that whole physical world may not even exist until you consider it.
Yeah.
Like the photons, even of matter, are in a ready state, like an unfocused state, until you experience them, or until something looks at them or reacts or entangles with them.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they focus and become what they are. That's how these photons can exist, like in two places at once, like ready for the decision to be made.
Yeah.
And so you have this weird phenomenon where so this whole play goes on in your mind, and you find yourself, like, even in your thoughts, you're creating this whole imaginary scenario, and you create a whole story that feels real, and it feels like I'm trying to prepare myself for this, or I'm trying to sort this problem out, or I'm trying to do this, or and you feel like you're trying to do something there. And so you're having this whole internal dialogue and feeling all the emotions of it. Mm-hmm. And you never escape it, because that's who most people think they are, is that running dialogue of emotions and thoughts that runs in their minds and their emotions day in and day out from every waking moment.
And the biggest variable in our life in those stories is other people.
Right.
Your boss, your friend, your family, your husband, your kids, your wife, your babysitter, whatever.
Right.
The biggest variables in life are people. And so it's just it's a matter of nobody in the same room has the same perspective. My perspective of this podcast is completely different than yours.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I bring a variable to your podcast and a reflection to your podcast that nobody else can bring, and vice versa, right? So, but that doesn't make what I'm saying any more true than any truth in the world.
Yeah.
It just might feel more true because I'm sitting in front of you, and this experience feels very real.
Yeah.
But there is a possibility that I could tell you a story that is not real, that I could make you think is real. Actually, probably not, because I'm a horrible liar. But if I was a good liar, I could tell you the story that you would listen to, that you would feel real feelings over. Maybe
Sure.
you would even cry.
Oh yeah.
And then at the end,
Like
I
if you
say,
really convinced me that right here and now on this podcast, you were going to reveal some secret you've kept our whole marriage or some devastating thing, like I would feel real emotions like that was happening and be like, why are you telling
wait, why are you telling this?
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I could even tell you just a flat out lie in that regard.
Right.
But why would you not believe me? Right? You would believe me.
Yeah.
You know? And so we naturally in our life have the voices going on in our own head that are autonomous. Our minds, just like our hearts, create thoughts like our heart creates heartbeats. And it's just going. And you have to sift and you have to filter and you have to realize that when I'm driving in the car and my mind is like, oh, Wendy's. Oh, I love junior bacon cheeseburger.
And you're reading
I could really go for
billboards.
a Diet Coke. And then I'm like, oh, furniture store, a sale. Ooh, I need new furniture for the family room.
How many more miles till the oil change?
Right. A text
it's like
comes
this whole
in.
running dialogue and multitasking.
A text comes in from Carl. Oh, he's so annoying today. Or, or oh my gosh, I love him. You know, depending on the day, right?
Right.
And what has changed? From yesterday to today to tomorrow, everything.
Right.
Not nothing. None of that is nothing. All of it is something, and we're progressing. And just like you said, I can't show you the Ginger from yesterday because guess what? Even already, where I am today as opposed to yesterday, I've already changed.
Right.
This is actually real. I actually feel like I've discovered that I've been upset with someone for like a year. And just since yesterday, have been able to just like let it go and realize that was probably a source of gossip for the reason why I was angry at this person.
Yeah.
I kind of uncovered this like, it was one of those things where I was like, why am I upset with these people?
Right.
You know? And then it's just kind of like, oh, they didn't really do anything and neither did I. It's just this weird thing, you know? So since yesterday, I can literally say,
the reality that I thought was reality was not.
It was fake. It was completely fake.
It was held in.
It was a story that I listened to and that I just assumed that the person telling it wasn't lying.
And you thought up until then that was the truth and that was who you were and was your life.
Yes.
That was the running dialogue until something comes and kind of pops that.
Yeah.
That's the running assumption. And that's kind of what we're talking about is this idea of like, what are all those augmentations that you're running on?